Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and today's video is called That Time Someone Claimed to Have the Best Voice over IP Phone System in the World. So this is an interesting one. This is basically going to be the explanation of a story of a random phone call that I got. Just kind of what my responses was to it, and then my takeaway to just that call and what I want you guys as my viewers to understand if you have somebody out there in the VOIP market make the claims that this particular person made. So let's hop right into this. So last week, the week before the time of doing this video, I get a random call from this guy, and the call starts like this. I've been trying to get a hold of you, Mr. Rich. And I'm like, okay, well, who am I speaking with and what company are you with? He wouldn't tell me who he was, what company he was with, what his name was. He just proceeded to talk to me about how my videos were misleading. And I kind of thought, okay, well, I'll play along. Would you please describe to me how and why my videos are misleading? Oh, well, you say that, RingCentral does this and they have this exclusive feature, and you say that Vonage does this better than these other guys, and you say that Nextiva and OnSIP and these guys have these exclusive wonderful features and they do it better than that, but your videos are misleading because that's not true, because the system that we offer, it does everything better than all of those guys, and quote, end quote, our system trumps all of those guys like Vonage, RingCentral, Nextiva, so on and so forth. And I thought, well, this is going to be an interesting conversation. So I asked the guy, okay, would you first of all please tell me who you are and who you're with? He wouldn't tell me. He then just proceeds to tell me, oh, I've been doing this probably longer than you. I've been in voice over IP for 32 years, blah, 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 blah. I'm the greatest technician that ever walked the face of the earth. And I just cut the guy off right then and there. And I said, look, was the reason for your phone call to call and basically insult my channel or my channel's credibility? Or is there something that I can actually help you with? Well, we might need voice over IP, he says, at our particular business, which he still wouldn't tell me what it was. And he basically said, we're going to be installing this really awesome phone system that we have, and I was just kind of thought, okay, well, awesome, good for you. I asked him, I said, is there anything that you need? And I just very politely told the guy, look, we have helped consult hundreds of businesses across the United States and all 50 states, as well as businesses that are clients of mine internationally, on what phone system is and isn't the best for their business. And I told him, I said, for you to sit here and say that your phone system is the best, first of all, that's a misnomer, because no phone system is the best for anybody. I just told him very politely, unless there's something that I can help you with, I don't really care that you think that your phone system is better than every other phone provider that ever was in the history of ever. You obviously are calling just to kind of get a rise out of me. And then he basically just said I was arrogant, and he hung up in my face. So, in short, this person is not the reason why I wanted to do this video. The reason I wanted to do this video is because this is not the first time that someone or some carrier has made the bold and erroneous claims that they have a better phone system than any and everything on God's sweet earth, or that was ever, to grace the world of voice over IP and telecommunications. So let's jump into the dynamic of this a little bit. So let's see here. Let me see. Okay. So basically what I want to talk about is this. One thing that I hear from a lot of people, forget about this guy that called. He only made me want to do a video about this because I've had plenty of people contact me, you guys included, over the last many months that we've been fortunate enough to help people U.S. nationwide and internationally with phone systems. I've had many people contact me and say, Mr. Rich, I appreciate your channel, because every phone system carrier that I talk to, they're always claiming that they are the best phone system provider, which is obviously not true. None of them are the best, because if they are, they'd be a complete monopoly and everybody else would be completely out of business, and I wouldn't have a job, because there wouldn't be any other options out there to help and consult people with if there was one best phone system provider out there. So the biggest thing that I hear from people is every provider is saying that they're the best, but obviously they're not. And that's why they come to me to help, weed through the rubble, decipher, fact from fiction, and which carrier is best or not the best for a particular scenario. So here's the things that I want to go over really quickly for you guys to understand you need to be looking for in a provider to figure out what provider is the best for you. The truth is, despite this guy's bold and non-factual claim that his phone system is better than every other carrier out there, there is no such thing as a best phone system provider out there, period. The best phone system provider for you right now, sitting in your chair, watching this video, is the one that is best for the things that I'm going to go over now. Price. This is obvious. It doesn't matter. I always like to use an analogy. I talked to a guy way back when that was saying that Rolls-Royce was the best car on earth. While that could be true from a mechanical and from an engineering standpoint, most nobody, including me, can afford a Rolls-Royce. So it doesn't matter if that scientifically and from a factual engineering standpoint or consumer rating standpoint is the best car. I can't afford it. So it doesn't really matter. So then what becomes the best for me? In this case with phone systems, the best phone system for me is the one that has the best features and frills that I need at a price that I can actually afford. Because if I can't afford it, it doesn't really matter if it's the best phone system out there. It's null and void. It's a moot point. Number 2, customer service. Now, those of you who frequent my channel, you know that I talk a lot about how some carriers have customer service overseas. Some carriers have customer service that is domestic United States. Some carriers have a mixture of overseas and domestic US customer service. Some carriers don't have customer service at all. They try to nickel and dime you and literally try to charge you the value of your firstborn just to give you basic customer service in the basic sense. So the best carrier for you from a customer service standpoint is the one that you can understand. Or if you're somebody like me, I don't mind having to deal with foreign tech support. I speak a foreign language, and I also work with these big carriers all day long, every day. So for me, it's not a big deal, but I do have issues when I speak with somebody whose English proficiency is just horrible. If their English proficiency isn't as good as mine because I'm a native English speaker, I respect that. As long as they're an expert at their trade, they've been trained well, and their English is a little off, I respect that and I can deal with it. I work with some customers that do not like to deal with foreign-based customer service. Obviously, if you're like me, there's many carriers that have a mixed bag of US-based customer service and foreign customer service. You'll be fine. They won't bother you. If you're like the latter, you might want to look at some providers that only have US-based customer service, like an OnSIP or something like that. So customer service differs by carrier, which means its likability or its acceptability is different for what you may be looking for what your standards are, what your business requirements are. Number 3, ease of installation. Not every phone system is as easy as the other to install. This guy that I talked to, it doesn't matter if he thinks he has the best phone system in the world. Doesn't even matter if Forbes says that he has, or Consumer.com, Consumer Reviews says that he has the best phone system in the world. If it's hard as the dickens to install, most people, especially if they don't have an IT staff, which is a lot of small businesses, they're not going to be interested in something that needs an engineer or takes God himself to come down and install it with divine-like technical expertise. Number 4, scalability. This is an easy one. Not every phone system out there is able to scale. You guys have heard me talk about some phone systems where if you find out that you need phones, the phone system can't do it. It can only do virtual. Some phone systems may cap at a certain amount of users. Some of them, their servers might quite literally choke out, or their customer service be subpar, too subpar for companies that may have 100 employees or higher. So scalability differs by phone system and carrier. Scalability takes on different forms, and we're not going to get into that in this video. But in short, scalability is something that you need to think about. Are you planning on staying the size that you are currently, or are you going to grow? If you're going to grow, then you definitely need to look at carriers that not only can scale with you, but the price doesn't get astronomical as you scale. So it's a double-edged sword there. Scalability, but scalability with a good price point instead of scalability where you get completely gouged as you grow, eating your profits. Point number 5, phone compatibility. I don't know what phones this guy had, but in my opinion, the best carriers out there, which are the ones that you guys see me talk about mostly on our channel, are the ones where if you decide to up and cancel your service, your phones that you have with that carrier will work with another carrier. And then if you decide to leave that carrier, your phones that you have will then work with another carrier and another carrier and another carrier. A carrier who has a very wide array of compatibility with multiple phones, that in my opinion is a great carrier. Compatibility is a big thing. Number 6, features. This one should be obvious. Not all carriers are created equal. There are many carriers that do have certain features that other carriers don't. Great example that you guys see me talk about a lot in my videos. Whenever I come across anybody that's in real estate, car sales, building, home building, anything like that, services like plumbing, heating, they need to have multimedia messaging capability in their mobile app so that the client and them can send photos back and forth for assurance purposes, or just to be able to show the person what they're talking about in their line of work or how they finished a service. Not every single carrier at the time of this video supports multimedia messaging capability in their mobile app. So this guy, if his particular platform doesn't support MMS, he can say whatever he wants. He definitely isn't better than all the other carriers out there, because I talk to people daily on a regular basis that it doesn't matter if the phone system is cheap. It doesn't matter if it's free. If it ain't got MMS or many other features that some businesses that I talk to have got to have, the boat ain't going to float. Number 7, contract terms. I talk to people all of the time, especially today, in today's current events and with a lot of uncertainty in the market. While another carrier may have a great price, all the features they want, they may mandate like 36-month contract or pay for the service up front annually. Again, this kind of goes back to the Rolls-Royce analogy. It doesn't matter how awesome somebody's phone system is or how great the price is if they are forcing you into a contract period or term that just isn't sensible for your business. You might be a temporary business. I work with people that are in temporary setups all the time. Tax consultants, what else? State fairs, things like that. They don't need a phone system for 36 months. They just need it for a season. So it doesn't matter what somebody's phone system might have or how cheap it is if their contract terms aren't, conducive and respectful to your business's scenario or short or long-term plan. So, anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. While this video wasn't meant to bash this person, even though he did kind of annoy me a bit, I felt compelled to do this video because even before this crazy person came along and made this bold, ridiculous claim that he had the best phone system ever, that in his words, trumped Vonage Business, trumped RingCentral, trumped Nextiva, I can tell you guys see me talk about people like Vonage, Nextiva, RingCentral all the time. You guys know how much I love these carriers. There are many times I'm on the phone and somebody calls me up and says, "Hey Prince, I see how much you like Vonage. I see how much you like Nextiva, or I see how much you like this. I watched your videos and I think they're good for me." And I tell them, "Okay, tell me why you think XYZ carrier is good for you." And after they state their claim, I tell them, "You know what? Even though you're right, I do love Vonage. I do love Nextiva. I do like RingCentral. I don't think they're a good fit for your scenario." And then we talk about, okay, here's the carriers that I do represent that will fit your scenario that you've just laid out on the table, and here's why. So anyways, for those of you who are watching, there is no best phone system out there in the world. It is what is best for your business, your needs, your budget, and what is going on with your business currently right now as your business is evolving and evolves. If you're watching this video and you're interested in finding out what is the best phone system for your scenario, give me a call. This is what I do all day long, every day for people all across the United States. My service is absolutely free. I'm paid by the carriers, and I can get you better pricing than if you go to the carriers direct. Like this video. Please subscribe to our channel. Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, your go-to guy for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. I'll catch you guys again in the next video.